Now, join me on the line is Tyler Tomlin, who this Saturday night, yeah, takes on Abdel Sauceda in Nashville, Tennessee. Tyler, how you doing tonight?
I'm doing great. Thanks for having me on, man.
My pleasure, my pleasure. So let's talk about this fight. I know you were fighting at lightweight. The last fight was at 144. What weight's this fight going to come in at?
Yeah, it is lightweight. The only reason I fought that high this past fight, fought a welterweight guy because of short-term replacement. My opponent dropped out of the fight a week beforehand. We were scrambling to get somebody, so we got a tough welterweight guy in there. Won every round against him. Wanted to get him out of there, but he's used to taking these shots from a bigger guy. So he was able to withstand my shots. Hurt him a couple times, but couldn't get him out of there. This fight in there with a lightweight guy, hopefully I can add to that knockout resume.
Abdel Sosa, 11-3. Excuse me, Sauceda. What can you tell us about him?
Yeah, I haven't watched him too much. I was doing this thing a little while where I was watching guys too much. And when I got in there, I kept looking for certain things that weren't coming. You know, everybody has certain game plans for certain fights. And I think sometimes when you go watch those guys, you're watching a game plan for a different opponent. They're going to have a different one against you. So I try not to watch too much. I watch a little bit just to see their speed, see their reaction time, just their natural movement, stuff like that. But I don't dive too far into the technical aspect of it. As long as I'm right in there on Saturday night, I think I'll come out with my hand raised. That's all I'm really worried about.
Talk about, obviously, the last fight was your first fight since your disappointing loss on Showbox. Tell us your mindset coming into that fight. Obviously, you were rolling along 13-0, and then obviously you suffered the setback. How did that change your mindset in terms of going into a fight, being that you were coming off a loss?
Yeah, it was a little tough. You know, you wonder how you're going to be. I started training so much harder. There's a lot of things I was taking for granted. Wasn't pushing myself like I had even in the beginning of my career just because I feel like I had gotten better. My ego went some wrong places. I was hanging around some of the wrong people. Just a lot of the things you see happen with some of these young boxers, and I was kind of falling right into that. I underestimated the guy I was in there with, didn't cut weight right. There's so many things I did wrong, and it did. It led to me getting my first defeat. But you can double down on everything and work that much harder, or you can let that loss affect your career and the losses can start to stack up. I went with the beginning one there. I started working so much harder. I stopped fighting and I started boxing, getting in fights with power punchers. I'd done that a couple times in my career, and most of the time I was outgunning guys. But you get in there with somebody that can bang with you, you got to be able to outbox them. And that's what I eventually learned. That's what I'm doing now. And that's why that loss was so beneficial for me. It was at a young, early part in my career. And if it was ever going to happen, that's the best time because it made me so much better. And that's why I'm excited to get back in there on Saturday, show everybody what I've been working on, the boxing I've added to my arsenal, so many things.
It seems like you knew what went wrong. Did you even watch the fight or watch the fight
Oh
multiple
no,
times? No, you haven't even watched.
I didn't even watch the fight because I had a really bad weight cut, anyways, and then the traveling to New York. I didn't get there till like 3 a.m. because of the
Mhm.
delays. You know, there's a lot of things that factored into that performance, but no excuses. I didn't work hard enough. I wasn't on top of it, and underestimated the guy I was in there with. So no excuses for me. I just decided to work hard and get better and fix all those things. But I didn't even go back and watch it because that wasn't me in there. Anybody that's watched me my entire career knows that I just wasn't even there mentally or physically. So, I mean, even the punches coming, I could even see the punches coming. I was just mentally drained and not right. So that's the biggest thing I saw in this past fight is I saw every single punch coming. I knew the counters to make. I knew the movement to make to get away from stuff. My defense got better. And that improvement from my loss to that fight, and then all the improvements I've made after that fight, is what I really want people to see. So it's going to be awesome.
You're with the Hall of Fame promoter Lou DeBella, and obviously you get that opportunity. What is he? What's the game plan now going forward in terms of maybe trying to get back to a showbox type of fight? We need another couple fights. Is that what you're looking to do?
That's what I'm looking to do. Obviously, they're in control of that. They're going to put me in places they think best. I think they've kind of seen the progression of that too. Even in my last fight, the huge step that I took forward. It'll all be up to them at the end of the day. I know that after this big fight that I've got on Saturday night against Abdel on a big Misfits card, get in there, secure a win, hopefully look impressive. And they'll put me on some big stuff. I know it's a matter of time to get back there. And when I do get that opportunity again, I'm not making any of the mistakes I made last time and go in full steam and get it right and secure that next big victory.
And if I'm not mistaken, your fight will be part of the DAZN broadcast?
See, I wish it was. There's a lot of
Okay.
people that there's a lot of people that are pushing for it to get Misfits to do it, but they got their influencers and things like that. They want to get on DAZN, and they're considering it to be like a post limb. Normally have a pre-limb, but they do the professional boxing fights right after their DAZN broadcast. But yeah, if y'all want to put some pressure on Misfits to air my fight on DAZN, please do, because we've had a couple hundred fans commenting on our stuff and trying to get them to do that. I wish they would go through with it. I want to show the world what I've got.
Hashtag Stream Tomlin. Maybe we could
Yes.
start something like that. I would imagine you're not a big fan of tag team boxing, are you?
Yeah, I'm curious to see how it all is. Anybody that's asked me questions like that, I just say it's a spectacle, and people love spectacles, right? It's going to be something different. You got these influencer guys in there, and I consider it to be round robin. You know, you get in there and you spar, and you got a guy in every corner. I've done that a couple times where I'll be in the middle, and it's just round robin. Every couple minutes, a guy will change. I assume that's what tag team boxing is like. Could be interesting for the fans, and who knows? Maybe it'll be a thing.
Who's Tyler Tomlin's dream tag team partner?
Maybe to get on DAZN, I have to have an influencer tag team partner. Who knows, right? Throw a KSI or a Jake Paul or somebody in there with me, and we can get it cracking.
Well, let me ask you this. I mean, hypothetically, I mean, these are just questions, crazy questions that pop in my head.
Yeah.
If there was a pro boxer that, you would want to, if this thing ever becomes something real professional, who would you tag with? I mean, just hypothetically,
Man, off the top of my head, somebody that's worked with Ludabella already, maybe a George Cambosis or somebody like that.
There you go.
We got that lightweight
that's
division. A promotion connection. I saw George fight. Lou flew me out to Madison Square Garden on that Tefimo fight, so that could be an interesting one.
There you go. You've been in some camps, if I'm not mistaken, with some good fighters. If I'm not, who have you been in camps with?
Yeah, we've bounced around a little bit. We've been in Vegas, getting some sparring in over there. We went out to Houston to get spar with guys like Austin Trout, and there's another kid out there, Garcia, then Regis Progress. There's so many guys out there in Houston that are really good. A lot of guys in Vegas, Andreas Cortez, that we've worked with. God, there's so many you start to forget, over the years. But been in some good camps, worked with a lot of good guys. And I know after this fight, I think we've got another trip to Vegas planned to get some more work in. Just continue to see things, learn things, soak it up like a sponge. And I say all the time, add new stuff to our arsenal. We're not selfish when it comes to that. We aren't from a boxing family, a boxing background. I'm the first in my family to do stuff like this. So anytime we can get in those camps and pick stuff up, we're here for it every time.
And as I alluded to before we hit the record button, obviously I'm wearing the hat. I've been down to work these country box shows in Nashville. There's actually some talent down there. I mean, you wouldn't pick Nashville. Obviously, we know what Caleb Plant has done over the past few years, and yourself and the things that you're doing. There are some decent young fighters out there. I mean, do you see the Nashville area, kind of a little bit on the uprise with the professional boxing?
Yeah, Nashville's been on the rise for a little while, especially dating all the way back to the amateurs. If you were a kid from Tennessee, everybody expected to walk through you. And then when I started winning some fights as an amateur, getting in these national tournaments, being nationally ranked, and then Caleb going pro, him making a name for himself. Then Austin Dulé was another guy that was on the scene for a little while, and I was coming up. And there's some younger guys below me that are starting to come up. So I think there's finally a little bit of buzz around Nashville boxing. Obviously not to the point of Vegas, Houston, those kind of places that just continue to breed guys. But there's definitely some notable names that come up around Nashville now, and I'd love for it to just keep on rising. Anytime there's places for me to go and be a figure for the youth with boxing and things like that, I'm definitely open to it. So continue to grow boxing in Nashville. That'd be really awesome.
And real quickly, you mentioned the youth. I remember that the last time I had you on, you were very active in the community, and you're giving back, and you're fighting for some causes as well. You know,
Yeah.
in the Nashville community. Expound a little bit on that.
Yeah, there's a lot of different things. Recently went out and spoke to one of the congressmen about some of the stuff going on in the city. I try to get in there with the Quentin Clark Foundation to talk to the schools, talk to the youth about all the possibilities with drugs and things like that, staying on the right path, staying away from drugs because they lead to other things. Anytime there's anything in the community that I can give back to and be a positive role model, I try to get behind that. Got this fight coming up in a week, and right after that, I'll be right back in the community doing as much as I can. That whatever fight we have coming up next, I'm excited for it and excited for all the things. Anytime I want to build my platform to a point to where I can give back even more, not just from me being there, me being a figure, but financially as well. So keep building everything and get to a point where I can do that.
Very impressive young man, and he can
Thank
fight
you.
too. And he can fight
Thank you.
too, believe
Appreciate
believe it or not. Tyler Tomlin, we thank you for anything you want to say to the fans out there before we let you go. And you're fighting Abdel Sauceda this Saturday night, hopefully on the zone. You know, hopefully
on the zone. Yeah.
Hope.
Go on Misfits, reach out to them, comment on everything that you want my fight streamed. Maybe Mams can make it happen. Make sure to follow me on Instagram _Ty Tomlin, Twitter _Ty Tomlin. Check out my page on Facebook, Tyler Short Fuse Tomlin. Just reach out. Make sure to tune in any way possible. Hopefully we can set up a streaming option of some sort. Fingers crossed. Saturday night as I take on Abdel Sauceda on a Misfits card right here in Nashville. I'm really excited about it.
Hopefully, maybe during the tag team match, someone gets hit over the head with a chair. It goes quick.
Yeah,
and then
that's what we need to do. Like, I'm just gonna hop in on the tag team match. Maybe I'll call George. We'll get something together.
You may know someone gets hit over the head with a chair. It goes quick, and then they
gotta tag me in. They gotta pull me from the back.
They go, or just have your fight on.
Yeah, even better.
Have it go quick. Tyler, thank you for a few minutes of your time, and well, best of luck Saturday night. We'll talk to you along the way.
Yes, sir. Appreciate it.
Thank you.